You think Lamar Jackson is going to be one of those 34 when he can't get out of his own way in these playoffs and stop turning the damn ball over and costing his team?
Yep.
No, it's not going to happen. It might, maybe further down the line. Who knows? Maybe when Patrick Mahomes retires and Josh Allen gets hurt, or I don't know.
It feels like it's been like a month.
I know. But dude, we double up on an episode and take 1 week off. It feels like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh, by the way, Eric, I looked a little bit more into the Diatlov pass stuff this past week.
What'd you think?
Pretty interesting stuff. A lot of the articles have just kind of the same theories.
Yeah.
So you can't really get too deep into it because they're all similar.
It's like the missing body parts.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird because you're like, oh, it's an animal, and you're like, yeah, but then an animal or a bear or a wolf's gonna eat the entire thing, not just the eyes or the nose or ears, and you're like, that's weird.
Yeah, and they were saying like the avalanche theory, which is why the tent was like the way it was, but it's like, okay, that might explain that, but again, the missing body parts, and apparently they found like
someone's chest was caved in.
Yeah, dude, and they found trace amounts of like radiation on them too. I don't know if you saw that, but like, yeah, they were saying like apparently there was like some radiation leak.
Hey, aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah, if you go back to the last episode, they exist, people.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I'll be honest, this wasn't in the agenda initially, so I didn't go back and look. So whatever y'all say, moose, alien. I don't care.
All good. Hey,
be curious, Brandon.
Yeah, be curious. Yeah,
you got to remind me.
It costs
to be curious.
It costs nothing to be curious, Brandon.
Well, you should remind me to be curious.
If you were curious, you would have said, "What happened to their eyes?"
Yeah.
Why were they barefoot?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of being curious, or it costs nothing, Brandon. Just like it costs nothing to be curious, it also costs nothing to subscribe to the boys. People. Yeah. Episode 23. We're back. Hopefully you guys didn't realize we took a week off, but we did. So we're back now. As always, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast listening fix from, go ahead and do so. With that being said, let's go ahead and just get right into it, boys. Fake ad read of the week. Take it away, Eric.
Alrighty. Today's sponsor is brought to you by Globo Gym. Listen, it's January 2025, all the big holidays are over, and it's just been an onslaught of sweet treats and feasts. You've enjoyed the meals, but took your eyes off of your fitness commitments. This is the time to renew that Global Gym membership and start chasing those gains. They're run by a self-proclaimed maniacal fitness nut named White Goodman, who proudly states, "Here at Global Gym, we're better than you, and we know it." So join the team and get to work on sculpting that body. Be sure to use promo code Take the Bull by the Horns 20 to save 20% of your next gym membership renewal. They'll even give you an additional 5% discount to join their elite dodgeball team as a practice dummy.
Nice. Good one. I'm always impressed with how topical you can be with your fake ad reads, Eric. You're always on top of it. So
yeah. I'll try.
Hey, props to the commitment to the pod.
It's a reactionary pod.
Yeah, it's a reactionary pod. I think Brandon tuned out halfway through that fake ad read. He's like, I got a gym in my garage. Why do I need White Goodman's gym?
Well, you get insulted by White Goodman, and then once you take the next step, you do the home gym like Brandon.
That's right.
Yep. Just clanging and banging every day, 2 days.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
If you're not at the gym, you're taking bike rides, just like the selfie you sent us for this thumbnail for this episode.
That's right.
I'm assuming that's not a bike ride.
I'm a little sleepy.
In your house.
I'll say, are your hands not like freezing?
It was cold today.
Yeah.
I wear the gloves I have like colder weather, like colder gloves or whatever from shout out Hand Up Gloves, Chattanooga based. But they make different type of gloves, but they have like thicker ones for colder weather. It's so cold today. My toes were really cold.
Right on. Again, commitment. Not to the pod, but to personal fitness, Brandon. Appreciate it.
I took that selfie.
You took that selfie anyways.
Yeah, you were going to take that anyways. Let's be honest. That was being sent to us whether we wanted it or not.
That was, oh crap, I forgot I need to send a selfie to Anish.
Yeah. At least you were fully clothed this time, not like the last selfie with you just half naked in a ice bath.
Also
well,
cold
though.
there too. Two cold selfies.
Yep.
Yeah, both those sound very, very cold.
It's January.
Yeah, it's January.
I'm also topical.
Everyone goes bike riding in January. Come on.
Yeah. Some people go to the gym to get fit in January, and I
Yeah.
go on bike rides in 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
Nice, Brandon. All right, well, let's get right into it, boys. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've met up, so I'm sure a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and kick it off with kind of catching up and our dad stories of the week. Eric, I'll let you go first this week.
I was going to say, I was hoping Brandon goes first, so then I can react off of Brandon.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's all good. I know I was kind of struggling, like preparing for the podcast. I was like, when did we talk last? Like, what did I do since then? But
like right now, I'm thinking, Anish, hold on, real quick, Brandon. Anish, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Sam Adams Cold Snap.
I'm using the Sierra Nevada cool little thing. Your can looks similar.
Nice. Yeah, very similar color scheme.
A big thing of water.
Water.
He's got like
high
whey
quality
protein.
H2O.
If our listeners couldn't tell who is a serious fitness nut on this pod, and the other two are just kind of
because I have a glass of water.
One of us thinks his body's a temple. The others two know their bodies are theme parks.
Yeah.
Both fun to visit.
Yeah. Listen,
we need both yin and yang.
Yeah. We can't take our bodies with us when we die, Brandon.
Don't tell Brandon that.
Yeah.
He's gonna get mad at you.
He got real serious.
He's gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm logging off.
Yeah. I'm just pushing his buttons now. Sorry, Brandon. Go ahead. Before you were interrupted.
Yeah.
All right. No, a lot of it's just been like normal back to school grind, even though kids have been in and out of school because of the weather and not even snow. We've just had like icy conditions and like super cold. So I guess they don't want the kids standing out there at the bus stops. There's been like delayed starts. There was one day where they're just out. So it's been tough to get back in a rhythm of things with sports activities canceled going and school going, not going. But, but overall, just kind of just back to the normal grind. This week, she's got like a couple birthday sleepovers this weekend. So she's gone. The other my kids had some dance stuff and they had some plans from friends, like shopping plans. So I went out and rode bikes today. So I got to get out, get in the woods today. So that was good. As far as dad stories, I guess, it did not happen last time we talked. Lily and Savannah both had their dance company showcase. That's basically the first time of the year we get to see like all the dances that they'll compete throughout the year. And it's kind of a chance for like parents and grandparents, people to come watch that wouldn't travel for the competitions, And so fun watching that, getting ready to jump into that grind. I think I said last time Savannah got put in a dance like 8 days before, so she had to like quickly get up to speed and learn that. And Lily's a good big sister and helped her with that, and so they crushed that that past weekend. Then Haley, I'll give her a little shout out. MLK Day, her track cross country coach, he's still like hosting practices and stuff, and especially like MLK, he was like, hey, I'm gonna be out at this trail if anybody wants to come do an easy day. She was like, yeah, let's go do it. And I didn't think a lot of people would go, so I took my stuff. I was like, I'm gonna go run with them. And sure enough, it was
I'm gonna run too.
I'm gonna run too.
You people running? I'll run.
Well, what am I gonna do? Get some base miles in?
Well, what am I gonna do? Go sit in the parking lot? Like, go sit at the trailhead? Like, all right, like, because it's like too far away to drive, drop her off, and like come home. So it's like, or I'm just sitting in the parking lot. So I'm like, well, I'm running too. If we're running, we're running.
They're like, Haley, is that your uncle running the trails?
Yeah, who's this weird old guy just running with these kids?
I ran with the coaches. Thank you. But that was the thing. There was more coaches. Like, there's like no one came. It was like me, Haley, the two coaches, and then one of the boys showed up. So, shout out her for still getting after, because it was cold that morning too. I did not want to go, but I was like, well, if I'm going to go, I'm going to get a workout in.
That's the thing.
Just sitting here.
They're like, you're like, put the work in, and like everyone is like at home in their blankets, like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah. It was cold that morning, but so shout out her. She's found something she's liked the last couple of years and sticking with it. But yeah, it's all my updates, man. On to you, Eric. Are you ready now?
I'm ready.
Real quick, Eric, before you get into yours.
What?
Yeah,
What do you have to say?
Brandon's just salty now.
What do you
so
have
angry.
Well, I don't think it's weird that I run with high school students.
Yeah.
What? Is running weird now? Come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Hey, most of the kids are faster than me now.
Yeah. Oh man. No, I was saying when you were talking about the kids being out of school for various weather reasons and things like that, it just reminded me how much it sucks living up here because it was like -2 on Tuesday and Zoe still had to go to school. Yeah, she still had to go to school. I'm like, it's freaking the wind chill is like -27 and like
What about?
bundling up.
Literally, what about like bus stop? Like I think about, I think that was part of why they do delays here. Is like kids sitting at the bus stop just freezing. All your kids got Canada Goose jackets or something.
Yeah, they all got Canada Goose jackets, dude. Dude, I noticed it more whenever I went into the office. I'm like, oh my god, dude, there's so many of them everywhere.
And you're like, you guys are getting promotions.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are getting paid?
You guys are getting paid for
You guys are getting paid?
How do you afford that jacket?
Yeah.
I've had to start up a podcast to try to make some extra money.
Yeah.
Like we heard about this podcast talking about.
I'm about to
check
start
them out.
GoFundMe to get one of those
Yeah,
Canada Goose
and they
jackets.
down here that is funny. We same kind of thing, Brayden. Snow and ice, but then it's been so cold, which is abnormal for down here, down in the south, to have. We're going on like 3 weeks of like right at freezing
cold.
or below freezing temperatures, and so like I think it was last week they were same thing. Some schools were closing because apparently diesel fuel gets like turns into like pudding or some kind of gel in that kind of temperature, and so they were like some schools like couldn't handle it or something. But
Seems like a fault of diesel fuel.
yeah,
Seems like a big catchy situation.
yeah, pretty
You
much.
can't just let it sit.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, sorry for interrupting you.
No. I was doing the
See a
same thing. I'm
trend.
like,
Yeah.
what have we done? Because I think last time it had snowed, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
Yep.
talked about sledding. We did sledding. Okay,
Yep.
sledding's off.
That was
No,
that was like 2 ago.
I know. So
Yeah.
I think last time we had chatted, I talked about how for his
Yesterday.
birthday,
Yeah.
she turned 8 and she had a yesterday at the mall. And honestly, it was very fun. It was and it was way cheaper than throwing a party and renting out a space or hosting at your house or anything. So we did. It pretty much, dude. Okay, so we went to a couple doll stores and stuff. We went into a Claire's. When's the last time you walked into the girls like or whatever the jewelry and the lotions and the hand sanitizers and lip balms?
I don't know the last time I went to a mall. So
Yeah, that's a good point. But same here. But we went to Claire's and earrings, little crappy earrings, are like $40, $25. Like they had like 3 things, and Katie was like, "Just so you know, you're at $48 for these."
You're
like,
hold up.
yeah, it was like she was like shedding things left and right. So that was kind of shocking. Where I'm like, you have some money, but do you want to spend a quarter of it on a soda can looking lip balm or something like that?
Maybe.
It's pretty cool looking lip balm, Eric.
Yeah. And then we
Who are
also
we?
did.
Who are
Yeah.
we to say what you can and can't treat yourself?
That's
with?
true.
Exactly. We are the last people who should
you're
be
not
judging
wrong.
little kids.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. And then we also went to Rainforest Cafe for her birthday, make like a family meal thing, and that place was insane. It was
Chaos.
yes, it's so expensive. Service is crap. The food is crap. Like it's just, but the kids loved it, and the nephews loved it. The girls loved it. Like they had a great time.
You know what's funny,
It's like,
Eric?
it's like a shitty gorilla animatronic. It's like just jerking around and stuff.
You know what's funny? The first time we actually ever ate at Rainforest Cafe was when we went to Disney. I never eaten there. We would just go look at the fish and then bail, basically. Like you never eat there. And I was like, we were just like, let's just eat here. It was like the first day we were there. We were like, let's just eat there. And you're right. I was like, I don't know what the big hype is. It's not all that.
It's been around forever. That's the crazy part.
Dude,
Like Rainforest Cafe has been around forever.
Yeah.
I think it's been, and when we were there, my brother-in-law was there with us, and Jeff kept saying, he's like, how many birthday parties? He was like,
It's probably all birthdays.
He's kind of a loner kind of a guy. He lives down in Georgia. He's by himself. He's an IT guy. And I think he was having like gigantic sensory overload because it was just, it pretty much was families with kids. And it was like the lava cakes, but they don't do the sprinkler or sparklers anymore.
Who else is going there? Who else is wanting
I
to go
hope
there?
I hope no one else, because it's insanely expensive
And like you said, for not great
for crap food.
Yeah. You're literally going there so the kids can look at the fish while they're eating. That's literally all you're going for.
And we were like, okay, next time if one of them wants to do this for the birthday, I'm like, we should just go for dessert.
Dessert.
Like, just go for the cake. Let them have the fun cake, because it was just like dino nuggets and mashed potatoes and fruit cups and stuff.
It really is like amusement park food in a restaurant,
sit down restaurant, but it's like, why is this burger $25?
It's like a frozen patty.
Yeah. And it's been sitting in
hard
beef broth.
bun.
Yeah, like sodium water.
Not even that, they're just getting it from the McDonald's down the street and just serving it in their own plates and their branding.
Yeah. But no, yesterday it went well. It was awesome.
The real question is, did you treat yourself on yesterday, Eric?
No, because all the money was going toward her doing stuff.
They didn't have your earrings there.
Yeah. I looked. No earrings, no tattoos, no piercings.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, no tattoo sleeve.
Just shows up with a nose ring.
No Claire's. Yeah. But it's all infected and like super swollen.
It's like green and blue.
Hi guys, I got a piercing on my nose.
Just a bull ring.
Oh man. Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go now. Again, trying to just think of what all we did since last week. Pretty business as usual, I guess. School is back in session. Super cold, just like you guys. I'm normally cold for longer than we're used to. Usually, it, like you said, it warms up by now, but we're still kind of fighting through it. But
you guys had a crazy frosted or freeze come through, didn't you?
Yeah. I think Monday it was like -8 was the high.
Ooh, the high?
The high, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was the high. And then Tuesday, -2 was the high.
Brandon, would you still cold tub in that?
I don't know. That'd be
seems like hazardous.
Dude, yeah. Dude, it was so
fun.
cold. Like literally you walk outside and like my glasses were like frosting as soon as I walked outside. That's how cold it was. It's stupid. But now it's getting back to normal. Like today was like 35, which felt like summertime compared to the last few days, so it was nice. But I guess in terms of dad stories, so it's always getting to the point where she's really, I don't know if it's just because she's hanging out with like her older cousins and now she's in preschool and things like that, but she's really starting to act like a teenager. So like we were at IKEA the other day, and we were all bundled up and whatnot, right? And while we were in the store, she didn't want to wear a hat, so I was like, okay, I'll just hold on to your hat, put it in my pocket or whatever. When we got outside the store, she was like, hey, I need my hat. It's freezing out here. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I was like trying to get it out of my pocket. And before I can even like attempt to get in my pocket, she hit me with I guess I'll just stay in here forever, Dad.
Oh.
I'm like, mother effer. I was like, mother effer.
just whip your head around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll just freeze here.
Did you lollygag? Did you lollygag a little longer? I would
You
have.
said, yes, you will.
Yeah.
Oh, after? Yeah, no, after.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you meant like initially for her to say that.
Yeah.
No,
It's
yeah,
like,
after.
Slow though, initially.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch, how long were you taking, dude? You're probably taking forever.
Yeah. I may have. I don't know. You know me.
This Canada Goose Jack. They got a lot of pockets.
Yeah. Oh,
Figure
shit.
out-
Let's see.
figure
No,
out
that's
which one
goose.
is in.
Yeah, that's goose feathers. No, not that one.
No, I do not have a Canada Goose jacket. But if you want to donate to the GoFundMe, go to. I do not have GoFundMe. But yeah, after she said that, I should have taken the hand and be like, oh, you want this? And just chucked it across the parking lot. But I did.
Go get it.
Yeah, go get it. But yeah, she's getting to that age. So,
But Anish, think about how bad it's going to be when they are teenagers.
Oh,
And Brandon's in
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Brandon's in the thick of it.
Yeah, he's around all that kind of growing up
yeah.
mindset, attitude-y.
I don't know. He's got a tight ship in there. He's making them run base miles on mountains
Well,
and
one,
stuff. So.
one is. He's got one of them's doing it.
Depends on the day which one I have under control.
You're like as long
Batting
as one
average
of you.
is
Yeah,
batting average is low.
Oh
And
man,
emotions are high.
yeah. Emotions are always high around
And
the
it's,
house.
it is crazy that you live in the tundra when you have a bad back. Like you would think that'd be like the worst place to be.
It is. It is.
Yeah, Nish. Just turn this to an attack.
Yeah,
Nish.
it is still salty about the beginning of the pod.
Get
Yeah.
stiff backed Nish.
Brandon's just mad because I started talking about stuff that wasn't on the agenda.
Hey,
He was
what's
left
funny?
out of
You
the-
literally before we started, you said, "Do we want to go down the agenda?"
Yeah,
I said yes.
I
and
said
Eric
no.
said no.
I said no.
And then look, we went
I
off
just started the
agenda.
pod.
We went off agenda.
We
And then-
thrive in the gray area, not in the
Yeah.
agenda.
In my head, I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be fun. Let's just go ahead and start without running through the agenda." Oh man! But on a lighter,
like change.
yeah. On a lighter note, though, aside, this is more of an uncle story. So my wife's nephew, he's a really big reader. Like he loves reading books. Like he goes through them pretty quick. So I also like a good book to read, and one of Priya's other cousins' husband is also a reader. So just for fun, we're gonna start a little nerdy book club, just us three, just for fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna,
Yeah, say nerd.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So the first book we're gonna read is Ready Player One. So, good movie. Hopefully,
How
I
old's
haven't read
the
the
kid?
book.
How old's the kid?
He's 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
he's like
book.
he's kind of in.
Does
in
he
the
like
French.
the 80s? Does he know what the 80s are?
He likes, like, he reads I forgot the author's name, but the author he likes to read, he does like it's like historical events, but he writes like nonfiction stories about historical events. So he reads
like a
like a lot
Quentin
of,
Tarantino version of Inglourious Bastards. Like,
yeah, kind of, yeah. Not to that extreme, but yeah, similar. Yeah.
Bored you in that one?
Yeah, no, bears you. Buongiorno.
Dominic de Coco.
Yeah. Oh man, that movie's so good.
Mhm.
We might have to go ahead.
It's not on streaming anywhere.
It is it?
No, they
It's got to be somewhere.
because Django Unchained. Sorry, Nish, just we're detouring here.
Yeah.
But Django Unchained, it at least rotates through whatever, Netflix or Amazon or whatever. But I feel like Inglourious Bastards is always hard to find.
That's one of the
Unless
last
you just
movies
buy
I
it.
went and saw at like the Thursday midnight.
Yeah.
Like the opening night. That was one of the last movies that I went and did that for.
It's on
I remember.
Philo,
Oh,
PHI. What
yeah.
is that? Is that
It's
a
like
new
a-
app?
Yeah, it's like a new app.
Makes me
You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that.
It says free.
No, they have free versions, but I think they have like a paid tier for more content. So I don't know if this is going to be on their free or their paid tier, but yeah.
That's why you got to. I know DVDs and Blu-ray are dead, but some
I
of
know.
it you need.
I have Inglourious
Yeah.
Bastards. I have Inglourious
I do have
Bastards
that,
on
yeah.
Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, the baseball bat with the Nazi helmet on
Especially
it.
some of those that are rougher like that. Like you almost want to get those.
Well, and then like 20 years, and they're like, we can't really show guns in movies anymore. And you're like, well, I'm gonna go watch Inglourious Bastards and watch some Nazis get scalped and blown away.
Yeah, I'm about to
I
win.
want
Brandon.
my scalps.
And I want my 100 Nazi scalps.
Dude, that might be a future draft idea. Just drafting Quentin Tarantino movies.
I mean, we could just do an episode
We could
breaking
just
down
do-
each
yeah,
one of the
just
movies. I
all-
feel like during COVID, when COVID first hit, I feel like me and Brandon were just watching Django like every other
Dude,
night.
I watched Django so much during COVID.
Django's
I think it was on Netflix at that
Yeah.
time, but I
Yep.
watched it so much during COVID.
You need it to be easy to be seen, so that way you can just throw it on, even when you're not even paying full attention to it.
Mhm.
But then you end up watching the whole movie. 'Cause you're like, this movie's freaking
That's
awesome.
so good.
Dude, all his movies are so good.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
great.
They're all good. They're all good. You can watch any of them at any time.
I've been watching the Hateful Eight. I've been watching the Hateful Eight a lot lately too. That's another good one. Just throw on the Western vibes, the snow blizzard, and then you'll be like falling asleep, and then it's like people get their heads blown off.
Falling
his-
off the couch.
His
Yeah,
movies will do
yeah.
that to you.
Someone's vomiting blood.
Yeah. Oh man.
Soothing sounds put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Close the door. Close it. You gotta put a nail in. You gotta hammer it.
I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about like cool like Blu-ray cases and things like that. I was like, I'm gonna win Brandon over here. You remember the Breaking Bad series collection Blu-ray?
Stand by.
It was nice.
I do have the I have
The barrel? Yeah,
I'm gonna
the
grab
barrel.
it real quick. Stand by.
Yeah.
That's when
I
they
know-
gave a shit. Anish, oh
Yeah, it's like a full barrel, and you open it up, and it's got like all the.
Is it a trash can? Because that show is trash.
It's a
Don't.
55 gallon.
Did you
55
catch what
gallon
Eric
bucket.
said?
I heard him.
Yeah.
Chose not to respond.
Yeah.
No, did you open this thing up? God, it's sick. Love it. It's leaving Netflix in a year or two.
I saw that.
So,
Saw
Eric,
that.
if you wanted to get on it, you can try it out, or I will never let you borrow this, but you're welcome to come over.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I'll do that.
And just like that, I got Brandon back on my side.
I am gonna watch the
know what?
Primeval. The
oh yeah, American Prime.
I
Evil. I
finished
need to
it.
watch that too.
So
haven't
good, I
started
finished
yet,
it.
but
It's
I think
great.
tonight, if we don't play the other games tonight, I'm gonna start it.
The first episode is going to hook you in, which I love, like American West kind of stuff. So I'm probably more biased to it, but I think that first episode is going to hook you in.
Right
It's really
on.
good.
Is it like an actual show or is it a limited series?
Limited,
Probably
like
limited.
Episodes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
like
it
6
does-
episodes.
If it does well, they'll probably throw in another shitty season.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I'm all for the
I
limited
can't imagine
series.
what they do with the next one if they did.
Hold on.
I'll say life on the American West back in the day wasn't happy. So
Have you watched?
there's not a lot of happy endings in that show.
You've seen The Revenant, right? The Leonardo DiCaprio fur trading one. That whole movie is just you're like that would suck. Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, no, that would suck.
It's
yeah,
like I don't think you watched 1883.
Like we didn't know you need to know.
Yeah, right.
It's like 1883, like the same vibes, like people trying to move out west. They run into Indians. It's life on the prairie and just cold, like no food. I mean, it's just not good. A lot of fighting, but it's awesome show though. I liked it.
Nice. Yeah, that was on my list. I remember you mentioned that to me too, Brandon. So we'll have to definitely check that out. Maybe by next week, if we can binge through it, we can talk about it next week some more. I forgot where we were in the agenda.
Somehow we got from your nephew book club to
your nerd book club.
Yeah, we went from nerd book club to people getting scalped by Indians.
Yeah. Anish, some of Katie's friends, they have a book club, but it's like drama. It's like suburban mom book club, and it turns into like, well, Mary Jane blah 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 said this, well, Sally said blah blah blah.
About
blah.
the book.
Yeah, no, about each other.
About actual,
about each other, the people that read the books. That like it turns into like a rama.
So we just do our beef on the.
We save it for that nerd ass Anish or that creepy Brandon running with little kids. Hey, what'd you do this weekend? I ran 9 hours with little kids.
Like when Kevin, you say it like that.
It
doesn't sound great.
Is that not what you did?
Yeah,
they weren't little.
the
adults.
Oh, they can vote.
He's like, define little.
I don't know. Maybe. I ask them.
If you have to plead the fifth in an answer, that's probably not a good look.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Kidding. All right, we're kidding. We're kidding.
Yeah,
we're kidding. It's called being a good role model.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny nowadays?
I'm sorry.
Brandon tries a little hard, and you're like, by making sure that kids are like learning a discipline.
Yeah. Making sure kids are learning values.
Yes. Yeah.
We kid, Brandon.
Yeah, screw
yeah. I'm taking my Breaking Bad barrel and I'm going home.
Sit here and count my Breaking Bad DVDs.
Yeah. So, Brandon, are the disc in there, or are there seasons like cases?
No, it opens from the side here. Stand by. Tricky. Yeah, the barrel like opens up. There's actually like a special disc in the top.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other stuff in here. There was a lot of goodies in this one.
Yeah, it came with like a lot of like extra swag stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. There was a try not to drop them here.
Make sure everybody's watching on YouTube to see this.
Yeah, make sure you watch. There's each season goes to there.
I think the reason why, and it's always stuck in my head, but I remember Anish being like, Eric, you got to watch Breaking Bad. Just get through the first 4 seasons, and then it's so
I never said
good.
That. I never said that.
You're like, so that's always in my head where I'm like, hey, it's just 40 hours of TV, and then you're going to fall in love with it.
You're exaggerating.
You're exaggerating a lot.
It's a real quote from him.
No. I said get through the first episode, because the first episode is kind of slow, but by the time you get to the end of it, it gets really good.
Vince Gilligan is a mastermind.
Mastermind, Eric.
Really? Did you remember Anish? We'd be listening to like
the pod.
What was the podcast?
The one who knocks.
Dude, so there Eric. So this is part of like why we loved it so much, and probably why it. I mean, I'm sure you like the show.
You have time to break it down.
That's another thing you got to watch week to week. But there was this podcast that we loved, and we would listen to, and they would break it down too, and they would like catch the stuff that was like foreshadowing and like throwbacks from like a season. It's like, oh yeah, I do remember that. Like, so they would bring in these tidbits that made you like it, understand it more.
Yeah.
Or they would like break down like literally like each title of each episode like meant something. It wasn't just a title, like meant something to the greater series. So they would break stuff down like that, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, it'd like kind of blow your mind.
Yeah.
So that made it like more interesting. And then like you said, it was one of the last good shows that you could watch from week to week. And it wasn't just dropped on streaming somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's in my head, I think I really like the show Stranger Things except I've only seen each season once, and you watch them in like a weekend, and I'm like, I don't remember that person's name.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
you gotta wait
remember.
It's like 2
for the
years
next
later.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, which season was the one at the mall? I'm like, I don't remember. Which season?
Yeah.
When did they come into the picture? And you're like, yeah, because I watched it over 12 hours,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's like so crazy, and then it's gone, and now you're like years in between seasons too is also like kind of lame.
Dude, that last season was so good too. Season 4,
Of Breaking Bad or Stranger Things?
Stranger Things.
Okay.
Both technically.
Yeah,
yes, but
It was, but it was good. But it's the kids are they're all married and have like
yeah.
babies and stuff now, and they're still
Yeah.
playing high school kids.
Yeah, like full beards. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's go ahead and get back on track, boys.
no.
Oh.
This is what happens when you don't go through the agenda.
I was gonna say one more thing on TV shows. Brandon, like you were talking about with Breaking Bad, how each week you have stuff to break it down. That's why I think when I fell in love with Game of Thrones, because I didn't know anything about that whole world or like anything at all.
You have to have somebody
And so
break
like
it down.
all the articles and same thing podcasts, early on
Mm-hmm.
podcasts of just you're like, well, this is why the Starks and the Lannisters hate each other. Well,
Mhm.
this is why this region, and it's like, did you know 1,000 years ago this happened? And you're like, whoa. And then, it turned out to be a giant turd of a show. But those early days when you get like drawn into it, then you have like the week to break down all the crazy events that just happened.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very fun. There's like very few shows, if any, that do that now.
No.
No.
Like you said, you don't have time.
Or like,
it all
or
gets
House of
dropped.
Dragon is still weekly, but it stinks.
Well, and that's another thing. There's not anything like
Yeah.
worthy enough to
Captures everybody.
that you want to like. Oh, I can't wait till this podcast comes out so I can hear these people talk about this show I watched.
And you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
No.
Let's
No.
go ahead and
Nish.
move on.
And I'm sorry, Nish. Sorry, we were having fun. I thought we were just having fun.
This is the boys talking, just talking.
It is.
You said we didn't need to go through the agenda. There's no agenda. There's no rules.
There's no rules.
The rules are there are no rules.
I brought a barrel to the podcast.
Who knew that was coming up today?
Yeah,
Was that on your agenda?
that was not on the agenda.
I can't believe you said that. Like, were you like teeing me up? Like, that was.
No, as soon as you said how like cold DVDs used to look back in the day, I had it. I already knew where I was going with that. Oh man, that was perfect.
It's a sick collection.
Do you know what? You know what's one thing that I would still love to buy in the same vein of your cool barrel of Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
For years before HBO Max or HBO Go or HBO Now or whatever streamer thing they had, you would to watch Band of Brothers. You either had to watch it when it first aired, or like Memorial Day weekend or maybe July 4th or whatever. They would do like a marathon, and you just have to like catch it on HBO. So they had the season. Or the Band of Brothers, the miniseries season in this like sick metal like army looking tin, but it was like $100, and so for like 20 years, I was like, man, I want Band of Brothers, but it's $100, especially when you have no money. That's a pretty big luxury spend. And then now it's on Netflix and HBO and stuff. But I still want to go buy like the original tin with like the seasons or the episodes in them.
It's cool to have.
Yeah,
it's very cool to have, man.
I mean, because I sold all of myself. I don't have many DVD
I have
or
all
Blu-rays.
I have
I got most of mine.
I have a
Thinned
TV
out.
thing just full of them.
I
Yeah,
thinned out. I kept some of the like Inglourious Bastards, stuff like that, like you want to have, but I thinned out a lot.
Yeah. No, I still
Sorry,
have like
Nish.
I still have the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern DVD.
Oh jeez.
Hey,
Dude,
Katie,
Jeez,
gotta keep it.
Yeah.
this is gonna be
Yeah.
so much money. It's gonna be huge one day.
We gotta keep it.
Yeah.
I know you guys know this, but I was a giant. Just go buy a Blu-ray or DVD, and like even haven't even seen the movie. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy all these things. So I have like hundreds of Blu-rays
Dude,
and DVDs.
you would do that. That would be like once a week in college. We'd be going to Walmart.
Yep. I'm like, what
So
do we
you could
have?
buy-
What's new?
Yeah.
What haven't I seen?
God, we're old.
Yeah. That was when Walmart used to have like they'd have like the full price ones, like the new releases, but then they had like a $10 rack.
Or then they
Yeah.
had like Requiem of a Dream for $5, and you're like, I'll buy that. And then you're like, that's the worst $5 I've ever spent in my life.
We should not have bought that. I bought Eric. You know where I'm going with this. I bought a movie that we still have never watched. Donnie Darko.
I know, and it's always like a cult. It's like a thing. It's like
Yeah.
all the themes and the cult movie, and you're like, I've never
It's a
seen
great
it.
movie, but
I've
y'all
never
never,
seen it.
y'all
We've
never
never
watched,
watched it. And this is a bit now. It really is a
Yeah.
bit now.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because we bought it. I bought it, and I was
And
like,
we were
we're
like-
definitely gonna watch it that night.
We're like, let's go. We're
And
gonna
then
watch Donnie
something-
Darko.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something happened that night, and then it just carried on week after week, then month after month, and now it's like, yeah, we're just never gonna watch Johnny Darko now, I guess.
Teaches us to procrastinate.
Yeah. Now we'll never get to experience Donnie Darko.
Uh-huh.
Even though it's downstairs.
Well, and also it's like it's also like a dark, depressing kind of movie. So those are also harder to get yourself geared up to be like,
yeah,
okay, this is gonna make me kind of depressed. Here we go.
Yeah. Especially when like you're older. I feel like when you're older, it's hard to gear up for those types of movies. When you're younger, you're like, I'll just watch anything, whatever. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, I don't know if I want to go through all that.
Time is
Dude.
limited.
Yeah.
I only got time for barrel watching.
Life's a barrel of fun. Brandon and Anish, you guys like scary movies. I read the plot synopsis for a movie called The Substance, and it has
got nominated for a bunch of Oscars.
Yes, Demi Moore is like she's like an aging fitness guru, and she gets fired, and so she finds out about this substance that can bring back your youth, and it's like a body horror psychological movie. It's supposed to be pretty good. But I figured it was right up your guys' alley because it's like
check it out.
Reading the plot synopsis, I'm like that would be really good.
Yeah, I got nominated for Best Picture. Yeah, I got nominated for Best Picture in the Oscars this year.
Maybe tonight.
It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. All right, we're spinning ourselves out of this, boys. Back on track. We're gonna move into Boom Roasted football update of the week. Let's get sad, boys.
Let's get back on track.
Let's get back on track.
All right, a little shorter Boom Roasted this week, but we're still going to go for it. All right, catching up on the national championship. Ohio State tops Notre Dame in a championship where everybody was actually hoping both teams lost. Turns out no one cared either way as viewership dropped to 20 million. Oh, wait, that was actually Ohio State's NIL total. I guess money can buy happiness. Boom Roasted. And then one for the boys. Titans introduced new GM Mike Borconzi. Titans are hoping stealing people from the Chiefs will bring a championship culture to Tennessee. But unless you're bringing over Mahomes, I think we stay in loser purgatory. Boom Roasted.
Boom Roasted, yeah. I will say that was probably the best option of all the available GMs out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, definitely the best option. Yeah.
He's a freaking winner. I mean,
best option would have been just keep our regular GM.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Best option,
I would say firing a new GM after like 2 years who was doing pretty good drafting and was making big swings. This is probably the best case scenario where it's like, well, okay, at least we didn't go like either like a has been GM or something. We didn't go that route. And at least this is another lottery chance. Maybe this guy will win.
Hey, he's been around for a while working with the Chiefs. I mean,
yeah,
it could be worse.
Apparently, he's the guy that we're just talking ourselves into random bullshit now, but he's the guy that actually like scouted Mahomes and convinced them to trade up to get Mahomes in that draft. So if he's that good of a scout, I'll take it.
If there's not a Mahomes,
that's true.
I know.
What are we doing?
Yeah, they said Trey Lance was like a Mahomes type guy, and Trey Lance sucks.
Yeah,
you're just taking swings. Yeah.
What do you think about his comments?
The generational talent.
I think it's getting blown out of proportion, but
I do too. I think it's Carter, the edge rusher. He seems like a freak.
Yeah, the best case scenario I saw like I've been going through these mock drafts because now that we have number one, it's like, oh, now I can actually like really look at the mock drafts and see
instead of being like, well, let's see if they're there at 12 or 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
The best one I saw was us trading back to number 3 with the Giants, and then we take Abdul Carter at 3. And then we also get the Giants' 34th pick of this draft and their first round next year. That's probably the best.
Yeah, but dude, the Giants the Giants are terrible. That doesn't seem like that would be awesome for us. But to the Giants, you're like, why would you give up two?
That's a lot.
Pretty much first rounders.
Well, that's the price for a number one pick.
I know.
The Carolina Panthers just did that last year or 2 years ago.
Like it's Shadur Sanders or Cam Ward. Like I don't think any of these guys are gonna. Like what was it? One of them. They're I love when they start throwing the comparables and they're like Cam Ward. If you squint, kind of looks like a young Russell Wilson. And you're like, all right, but okay.
Well, Brandon brought up a good question. Like, what's worse? You have the first pick and you take a QB and the QB ends up being a bust, or trading back and the QB that goes first ends up being like a Hall of Famer. I think it's trading back because I'd rather know that we took the guy and it just didn't work out than us not taking him.
And
you're like, too.
And you're like, guys, okay, you crawled through the 500 yards of shit last year.
Mm-hmm.
You have the first round pick. Like, keep it and pick the best player that's available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we stink. So at least get some high. This is like the only guarantee you're getting high end talent is if you have the first pick. So you're like, do something with it.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. I mean, you just got to do something with it. Trading back in this draft, it doesn't seem that deep from all accounts compared
Seems
to
like
years
they're
past.
deep like later, but
Yeah.
like the high end, it's like there's not really much.
Exactly.
Like
so you
Carter
might as well.
and Travis Hunter are like the bona fide studs.
High end skill guys.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, whatever. If they think Shadur or Cam is going to do it, I'll ride with them.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a leaf in the wind with this. Like, we're just along for the ride of just like, I don't know. All I know is Rudolph and Will Levis suck. So let's try something else, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Might as well do it now.
I'm used to not being happy with them. So if they pick a bad player, no harm, no foul. If they pick someone good, let's roll.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, on a much happier note, boys, the Predators might be the hottest team in the NHL. 5 in a row. We've scored 27 goals in those 5 games.
We've given up 24 goals in those games.
Who are the last 2 wins against?
Bottom of the barrel, San Jose.
San Jose Sharks.
Hey, you gotta beat those
win
teams.
them.
Yeah, you gotta win those games.
Still gotta win
them. Did you see the stat about how we've won 5 in a row? That's 10 straight points, and we've pulled up to be the 4th worst team in the NHL.
We're still. The next question is, so what place are we in?
We're still 10 points out of the last wild card spot.
Yeah, so we have to do it. We have to win 5 more straight just to be the last wild card spot to get your ass kicked by like Colorado or Winnipeg or Dallas or somebody.
Yeah.
Fred's getting number 1 pick too. We'll have back to back.
Dude, that would be hype. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
I know nothing about NHL like players coming up. So
and the prospect thing, Brandon, you talk about the NFL being a wild card pretty much outside of the top 5. The NHL, most of the times, it's either the top guy.
Baseball.
Yeah, or it's either the number 1 guy or you hope your 3rd round pick turns into a stud. Like you're drafting 16, 17-year-old kids. Brandon, these are kids you run with, dude.
Yeah. Could you imagine one of those being the main guy on the Predators?
I'm one of those kids to be your franchise savior, dude.
Well, let's hope they ran with me and got some good mojo.
Hey, time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. In NHL, you don't really have really super deep classes. Like usually you can go into the 2nd, 3rd round, and after that it kind of falls off. Like 2003 NHL draft class was probably the deepest draft class ever in NHL.
But no one knew that at the time.
Yeah,
exactly. We just get rid of our players anyway. Yeah, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
We just beat one of them.
Yeah, embarrassed him, huh?
Showed him.
Yeah.
What about that Rantanen deal,
dude? Wow. Apparently they were trying to get. So Carolina was trying to get Crosby? JT Miller from Vancouver. Yeah. And apparently that fell through the cracks.
It's like Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby.
He's like, is Joe Thornton still playing?
Yeah. Who else? Mario Lemieux. You ever heard of him?
Jonathan Chichu.
Peke Rene. Read a book.
Is Wayne Gretzky still playing?
But it's very fun when a giant trade like that happens. Where you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And also, dude, crazy that the Avalanche didn't want to pay him an extra couple mil. That's crazy. Yeah. The cap's going up. They're talking about the cap going up. Insane.
They can afford it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I know they got that young kid Martiniquez back. Which he's not bad, but he's no Rantanen. He's no Rantanen.
And the weird thing about the is it Nietzsche's? It's N-E-C-A-S.
Yeah, I think it's Nietzsche's.
Nekas? I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But because he's a Carolina Hurricane, and we don't really care about them because they beat us all the time.
I was going to say, I don't. Y'all know way more about NHL. I can talk in Preds land. That's about where I'm good. But God, why do you have to go to Carolina?
I know. It's like
I don't like the Hurricanes.
Yeah, because they beat us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they smoke us normally, but
we're not even in the same damn division, and they beat us in the playoffs.
Yeah,
because of the COVID year or the post-COVID year.
Yeah, but yeah, that deal was crazy, dude. And somehow Chicago was retaining a lot of written in the salary.
Chicago's like, we would like to hold some of that salary. And you're like, okay,
yeah. Would they get a background pick?
They got their own 3rd round pick back to retain, and they got rid of Taylor Hall, but then they kept on a half of Rantanen's salary. It's literally they're like, hey, we're in the trade too.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
Okay.
I don't know what they were doing.
I don't know how that makes you any better, but okay.
It's your boys, Anish.
No, they're a dumpster fire too. They might be worse than the Titans.
Oh yeah,
The Blackhawks are really a dumpster fire.
They're a good example of what happens when you tank to get a top pick, but then you have no talent on your team.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, and they got rid of Taylor Hall too, so they're just trying to get rid of their players. Like they're just, I mean, I guess
think he's on
Carolina.
Anish, I think he's on his sixth team. Taylor Hall, former MVP of the league. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, he's still decent. Like he's not clearly as good as what he was even a few years ago.
I think he's always been overrated. I think he got that. This is hockey talk, Brandon. But he when he went to New Jersey, all of a sudden the East Coast media is like, "Oh my gosh, he's so good," and you're like, and it's funny how that happens. You go to one of those northern hockey cities, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, Shea Weber, he's one of the best players ever," and you're like, "He's been that way. He was down in Nashville, you know."
Yeah, watch your mouth, lady.
Yeah, he always has been the meme. Always has been. Yeah.
Pump your brakes, kid.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that was crazy. Hopefully, because when is the trade deadline for the NHL?
Well, there's a freeze coming up for that Four Nations tournament, and then I think it's not until April.
The playoffs start in April.
Okay, then it's
probably like March, beginning of March, I would say.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was already maybe past. I was surprised. I was like, they're still doing trades.
Yeah, dude, we're only at the halfway mark.
Yeah, Brandon's like, oh shit,
I mean,
they're still playing hockey?
though. Well, no, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of late for trades, but
it is.
Not.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it used to be like
a big trade.
No, Brandon, I don't know. The old days before the lockout, the leading up to the trade deadline was awesome because it would be like 2 weeks before the playoffs started, and so like Brian Leach would get traded from the New York Rangers to Toronto Maple Leafs. It didn't help. Those things were more shock factor than they were like actual useful things. But it used to be really exciting. You're like, oh, so and so got Curtis Joseph to be their goalie. Crazy.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And they'd lose in the first round.
Yeah, I've been there with
Predators.
I was about to say, been there.
Yeah, we got Peter Forsberg, and we lost in the first round.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember the hype when we got him, dude. It was so
sick.
It was awesome. Oh man.
Hey, stick on Tennessee sports. Falls, baby.
Yeah, they're playing Auburn
right now.
Yeah.
Number 1 Auburn.
Yeah,
I saw a thing where the athletic director was walking around asking the student section they're like, if we win, please don't charge, let's save the NIL money, not for fines but for like players. And it's like someone was like, you have like a $2 trillion endowment, like what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Colleges are like, it's like the biggest damn scam of like money and being like, well, it depends on what tuition is, how much tuition. You're like, you've been an institution for 100 years.
Yeah,
so that was like
you're sitting on a gold mine.
That was like the Tennessee AD trying to get the fans to pay for when they tore down the goalposts against Alabama a couple years ago.
Yeah,
dude, come on. Yeah, you just pay for it. It's not that big of a deal. Like you have enough money, just do it.
Did you see Rick Barnes? We may have already talked about it when he set.
Yeah. I
can't remember if we touched on that. He was like, "You're getting paid to make them shots." Or or no, he passed up the shots. Like, you're getting paid to shoot those shots. Like,
yeah, he's pretty much.
Yeah, good for him, man. Tell him like it is. These kids need to hear it, dude.
I mean, that's what it is now. They're basically. I mean,
like if I'm dropping money to get you to come here, you better be taking those shots.
Professionals, yeah.
Oh man, should we do a quick rundown where we are with our teams that we picked? Eric is looking good, man. I know we made fun of him. We made fun of him when we last recorded because there's only one game and the Chargers lost. But you've got 2 teams still in the running, Eric.
Yeah, dude.
The Bills and the Commanders.
That's pretty wild. 2 out of 3 are in the championship.
You might have 2 in the Super Bowl. Yeah, you might have 2 in the Super Bowl.
I think the Commanders have a shot.
Yeah. Commanders the Eagles are a weird team. The Eagles are a weird team. One minute they look so damn scary. The next minute Jalen Hurts is like looking like a fool. So it's like, but then the Commanders, it's like everybody thinks they're a Cinderella team until you lose. you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like how much longer can Jaden Daniels keep it up?
He looks good, dude.
He looks so good. Dude.
He looks really good.
I'm like, oh man, this is what a good QB looks like.
Dude, I've been loving that clip of the Giants GM and his son on the camera, and his son's like, he's like, you only get the job once. He's like, draft Jaden Daniels. Why not try win? And the guy's like, ha 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 ha. And you're like, yeah, dude. I saw another thing, and it was like, it's like middle school kids would make the best GMs. It's like, just like, hey, pull out all the stops, make this happen. Instead of being like, well, we got to be reasonable and we got to be this thing and that and this. And you're like, just take the best player.
Yeah.
Doing that Hard Knocks off season for that Giants GM is probably the worst decision he's ever made.
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
clearly a moron.
Clearly a moron. Has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
He trades away their young best player.
Yep.
Or he lets their best player walk away.
Yeah, let
their best player walk away for a QB that they ended up letting go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel Jones, just give him $120 million.
Yeah. We'll just cut him halfway if we don't want him.
Yeah. Oh, biggie, right? It's not real money.
Yeah, the games will have already happened when this comes out. I guess it was.
Oh, yeah. I guess we should let people know. We are recording this Saturday night, so the championship games have not yet happened. So
so we don't know.
Think about this.
I do have the cheat code.
What's that?
Yeah. The Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs, baby.
Yeah. I still got the Eagles in it, man. I got the Eagles in there, hopefully.
So we have a lot of teams left. Literally all of them.
All of them.
So
we're pretty good.
It could be an Eric on Eric battle in the Super Bowl, or it could be an Anish on Brandon battle in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or it could be an Eric on Brandon.
Yeah.
Ooh,
or Eric on Anish. Ooh. It could be so many possibilities.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we're not as smart as we thought.
No, but I was thinking about this. I'm literally going to be at the circus during the Chiefs-Bills AFC Championship game. That's an all-time blunder by me.
Yeah, while you're there, just go ahead and get a clown face paint.
Dude,
while you're there, Eric.
Please.
Yeah,
like a clown.
And send that selfie to me as a thumbnail for this episode.
People, listen to all you listeners and watchers out there. You think it's easy being a present dad, being a good dad who's like there at events and stuff, and goes to the circus with your kid on Sunday night of the AFC Championship game? You got to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, sacrifice is not by choice.
They're like, "Can I get a slushie?" And you're like, "It's $20," and they spill it at their seat.
That's the worst, dude. That's the absolute worst, dude.
I can't see.
Yeah,
this pizza's not good.
I want more cotton candy.
Yeah.
Can we get a bubble machine?
Dude, it's like Hadley's face has got like sticky, sugary stuff all over, and she's like, "I don't have a napkin." I'm like, "Do you think I have a napkin? Let me just pull a napkin out of my pockets."
Dude, Brandon, those bubble machines are the worst.
I hate the bubble. I hate bubbles in general, but bubble machines,
dude, they're the absolute worst.
Who was it? It might have. It was one. I think it was Hadley's last birthday. But Brandon, I don't know if you were there or not. But Nate told Ophelia she can get the bubble. We were getting everything set up, like even the backyard all set up and stuff. And Ophelia comes walking around with like this giant bubble machine we have. And one of our other buddies, Kendall, got him like a gallon of bubble juice. And I was like, no. And Nate was like, oh, sorry. I'm like, Nate, use your freaking head, dude.
You don't have older kids.
Yeah.
He don't know.
Yeah. He doesn't know. Like, you ever seen kids slip on bubble juice?
Dude, I've slipped on bubble juice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I've
all
slipped
been
bubble
there.
juice.
We've all been there.
It's a Home Alone stunt, dude.
Yeah. Oh man. So we obviously went through those teams, and we got to talk about it, boys. I've been clamoring to talk about this. The one team we all refused to take.
Gone, baby.
We thought, everybody thought that we were gonna have egg on our face.
Nope.
No, you know why? Because Lamar Jackson is their quarterback. You're not going to win with Lamar Jackson, okay? Yes, Mark Andrews probably cost him the game at the end of it.
Throw it sooner.
But you know what else cost him the game? Maybe don't turn the ball over 2 times in the first half that cost them 7 points.
Yes.
Maybe don't do that, and your team would have won that game easily.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't play conservative and open the ball up, throw the ball.
The fumble looked like a rookie mistake.
Mistake.
The interception was
a rough game.
That was a bad, and that's the thing where you're like, yes, I do. Don't get. What do you do if you're the Ravens though? Like, what do you do? You have
Not
a guy.
Even the king can save you.
Yeah, like the king can't bail out Lamar's stupidity. It's like, man,
Yeah.
You're like, look, that's like a mental gymnastics you have to do every year. You're like, okay, he only threw 4 interceptions in the regular season. He's different this year. He's got it. Boom, interception and a fumble, and you lost. And you're like,
how many times do we have to see it in the playoffs for people to realize? This is what pisses me off about Ravens fans and Lamar supporters. Why are you so set on Lamar Jackson winning? He hasn't done shit in the playoffs. Every year, every freaking year, he comes in, he's changed. Oh, he doesn't turn the ball over. Oh, he's a better QB. He's more accurate. What did he do? He turned the ball over twice in the first half that cost him the game from the first half.
Yeah.
After those 2 turnovers, it was over.
And in a playoff game where every single turnover is literally life or death.
Exactly.
I think part of it too is they're just as we'll get into our draft here about people never winning championships. They're in the AFC you got Patrick Mahomes obviously, but also like Josh Allen's awesome. It's just
and
like
Joe Burrow.
It's just a buzzsaw of good QBs. It's like
Will Levis is coming up.
Like
but it is though. And if you go back, because there's a shit ton of NFL quarterbacks that have not won a Super Bowl, but if you look, it's like there's either a Tom Brady. I'm not gonna say Peyton Manning. I mean, he did win 2, but I mean, Peyton Manning kept Cam Newton from winning a Super Bowl. Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's these, and then Patrick Mahomes is freaking locked down, denying teams from like getting a Super Bowl.
It's funny you say that, Eric. I actually did the numbers on this because I wanted to come straight with numbers.
Okay.
So these fans would not be in our comments. They're all, everybody's excited about Lamar Jackson, like the Baltimore fans, and they think they're going to win with him. Out of all the Super Bowls, only 34 QBs ever have won a Super Bowl. 34. That's it. You know how many QBs have ever played in the NFL? 721 QBs.
Yeah.
And you think Lamar Jackson is going to be one of those 34 when he can't get out of his own way in these playoffs and stop turning the damn ball over and costing his team?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen. It might, maybe further down the line. Who knows? Maybe when Patrick Mahomes retires and Josh Allen gets hurt, or I don't know. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't see it. Unless he gets that fixed, he will always just be a regular season quarterback and that nothing more.
Yeah,
clip that.
Dude, Anish, you do though. You hit a point though where you're like, guys, like it's like with Phillip Rivers. You're like, guys, he's never gonna win a Super Bowl. Like, and he played the Chargers for like 16 years, and every year they're like, I can't believe he collapsed. You're like, you cannot believe Phillip Rivers laid a turd in the AFC divisional round or the AFC championship game. Like, how shocking, you know?
Listen, I meant to say this earlier, but I was looking at my notes. But it plays along with this, and it plays along with our draft of just how hard it is to win a championship. But this is for college. So Ryan Day got his ring. Now Kirby Smart, and Dabo Swinney, those are the only 3 active coaches with rings in college.
Wow.
That's like a Nick Saban effect. You talk about running into a buzzsaw.
Yes.
Like, I was like double checking. I was like going back because I read that and I was like, "There's no way that's true."
Like,
but
active coaches.
That's crazy.
Active college head coaches. Those are the only 3 with rings.
That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, think like Saban.
I know.
Dominated the last decade and then got everybody retired everybody.
Yep. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Is Gus Malzahn not coaching anymore? Didn't he?
I don't think so.
Is he the Auburn?
Yeah. I thought Les Miles was coaching somewhere small too. Because didn't
probably
he win?
Talking about like
where is dude? I haven't thought about Les Miles in forever.
No, actually,
dude.
I don't think he ever won. He never won.
Dude,
actually,
I don't think Pee Wee League counts.
Yeah, I don't think he ever won.
Yeah, Brentwood High School didn't count. No.
Yeah, because Saban won their first championship in 03. And then obviously Ed O won the Joe Burrow one.
Yeah, dude, I don't think I think he last coached at Kansas in like 2021 or something.
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured.
That's crazy.
I know it's crazy. I would not have, never would have thought that.
No,
that low a number.
It makes it where you're like you have to enjoy the really fun seasons, and it's like because those are really realistically like the only fun you're gonna have. Because like if a championship is the only true measurement of successful season, it's like we're probably never gonna win a championship. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty crazy. That's a wild.
Well, I was like, well, Georgia's won a couple, and then you had the Saban and Dabo years.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's gone.
Yep.
But it's really been like Bama and Clemson.
And
Before
Urban
that-
Meyer's not coaching.
Yeah, Urban Meyer's not coaching.
Damn.
Damn,
Crazy.
yeah, that's crazy. All right, well, I
Anyway.
think that's the perfect transition into our draft, boys. In honor of that Lamar Jackson rant, we are going to draft the best athletes to never win a championship. We're going to go 4 rounds, similar with like the worst franchises. We're going to pick one from each major sports league. Brandon, you got the first pick this week. I got second, and Eric has the back-to-back, bringing up the rear. All right, Brandon,
All
who are
right.
you going with first?
So I'm trying to be more strategic with what league I want to go with, just because there's one player in baseball that I want. Like, he's probably not compared to like NFL or NBA, probably like best like athlete or he's most known, but as far as like athletes, probably not up there with some of those. But this is my draft, and I'm going on my past. And growing up as a kid, I loved watching baseball. I was full on Braves, loyal to the Braves, but there was one man who was not a Brave that I absolutely loved. I thought he was the coolest dude on any field. That was Ken Griffey Jr.
Yep.
Ken
I
Griffey
knew.
Jr.
Sweetest swing.
Sweetest
Ever.
swing, sick catches, rocking that backwards hat.
Dude,
like,
the backwards
yeah.
hat at the home run derby.
everybody's rocking the backwards hat at practice. Like trying to do the Griffey swing, doing the batter stance. Like, I mean, he's just the coolest player ever. But and I was reading some of his history. He only made the playoffs 3 times, but I mean, he was like the face of the league. Like, I mean, everybody knew who Griffey was. My baseball, I had a Ken Griffey glove. Look, Eric's got him in his bench.
There you go.
So,
Yep.
I don't even fucking like baseball.
But
Clip
so
that.
I'm going Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one,
Yep.
Brandon. He was one of my top. It was between him and another guy for baseball. And I'm probably going to take the other guy right now just because I just want to get it out of the way. I want to make sure I get him. And that's going to be Barry Bonds.
Ooh.
That was my other one.
I think between baseball has got to be. Those are the 2 heavy hitters really that are out there. Yeah, he may be been on steroids. Some
Who cares?
HGH. You still got to hit the
dude.
ball. You still got to
Power.
hit the ball.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares, dude?
I love
Everybody
how
was doing
people- I love how people are like, you're like, guys, the ball's, it's 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you
And
still
he-
got to hit it.
Yes.
Like you still have to hit it.
Yes.
He's one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all time.
All time.
It is wild when you see young Barry Bonds versus older Barry Bonds, though, and you're like, his head
Yeah.
got like 3 times
Yeah.
as big, but
Everybody was
awesome.
doing it, and he was still
awesome.
better than all
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Dude, remember when he would wear that giant elbow
Like a
pad?
cyborg arm.
Yeah, it looked like a suit of armor, or
Yeah.
like a knight's armor.
Yeah.
Covering up the injection spot.
Yeah, yeah. He had an infection from the needle.
Dude, he
Yeah.
had no problem taking a hit from a pitch with that thing on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eric, you got 2 back-to-back here.
Oof. So, in honor, you talk about recency, Anish, in honor of his Hall of Fame induction, another player that we would have no reason to even really be a fan of, the Seattle Mariners, but when Ichiro Suzuki played for the Seattle Mariners, you were just like, who is this guy? He would be at the outfield wall and throw a laser bullet to the home plate and then, tag people out. He was always like a leadoff hitter. He's getting on base no matter what.
Dude, the way he was already running before he even completed the hit.
He'd already be like running as he swung down.
As he swung, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
That's a good
Ichiro
pick,
Suzuki.
yeah.
He was
That's a
awesome.
good
He was
one.
like a phenom. His name also all-time name. Ichiro
great
Suzuki.
name.
Yeah.
Great.
One name players, awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Guy couldn't speak any English. Did not matter. The guy's a stud.
Yeah. He was really good. All right, Eric, you got the second pick here.
All right, I got to mark out some names. Dude, Ken Griffey Jr. was awesome.
Dude, surprising we all went baseball first round.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't want him
following your
to.
lead.
I was like, I had to get him.
I think, Anish, I'm just going to do this to rub salt in your wounds.
You mother effer. I
I'm
know
going
where
to
you're
take
going.
Matt Sundin of the
I hate you so much.
NHL.
I hate you so
as
much.
one of the best players to never win.
God.
The guy was awesome. He was a freak. He had like 1,300 points. Unlike these current Toronto Maple Leafs, he actually got to championship conference series and won playoff rounds. He was awesome. I love Matt Sundin. It was a great. As someone who's never a Toronto fan, you always watch Matt Sundin.
Yeah. He's the reason I rooted for Toronto back in the day. Before the Predators even had a team. Before National even had a team.
He was awesome.
He's so good, dude. God damn, I love me some Matt Sundin. All right. So it's my go. All right. What do I want to go here? I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say my NHL because I know Brandon already mentioned he's not well versed. I feel like I'll have a couple of picks here that I can go with.
I have
We'll
honorable
see. Hey, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, I might. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with the NFL. I'm gonna go with Barry Sanders.
It's a good one.
One of the most electrifying running backs to ever play the game.
Hey, you went Barry back to back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Double
good call.
berries.
Yeah. Hey, watch out for NHL, okay? Yeah, I think. Barry Sanders. NFL has a lot of players you could go from quarterback
Mhm.
to position players, but just from an excitement standpoint, from a guy who really gave it all for Detroit when he didn't really have to back in the day, because Detroit back then he was the reason why they were relevant back then, and he's the reason why they made the playoffs back then. And without him, they wouldn't have gotten anywhere really. So
Pre-Stafford, Calvin Johnson era, Barry Sanders was the only Detroit Lions highlight.
The only reason they were worth anything.
Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
He also still looks fantastic.
He does.
For how old he is, he looks fantastic. Yeah, maybe he was smart to get out of the league early.
Yep. All right, Brandon, you got 2 back-to-back here.
I'm trying to decide what I want to do.
It's so tough.
I kind of want to take one of your NHL ones, which I don't know. You probably have a lot more than me. I still got 3 on the board though.
I have a lot. Not a lot, but a decent amount.
Let's see. You already went NFL. I feel like there's 2 good NFL ones left, so I'm gonna leave those.
Dude, I have 7 NFL guys that I'm like, yeah, Hall of Famer. Yeah,
oh, there's a bunch. I made sure to write down 3, so I was like, well, at least I'm gonna get one of these. NBA, I'm gonna go one that. There's 2. You know what? Again, I went Griffey because it was personal to me. There was one I was going to take, but I'm doing this one because it's another personal one to me that I loved watching him growing up. And that's Allen Iverson.
I was going to say, you son of a bitch. He's going to take Allen Iverson.
Give me 0-1 MVP. Lost in the finals. I mean, he ran into the Shaq. We talk about buzzsaws. He played Shaq and Kobe. Good luck to anyone trying to beat them. He willed that team to the finals himself as a little point guard.
Yeah, that team sucked. Yeah,
I remember playing NBA, old school PlayStation. Dude, I was always picking the 76ers to play with Allen Iverson. But 11 all-time All-Star, 11 All-Stars appearances. I mean, again, just change the game, I think, for kids, wearing those sleeves. That's the first person I ever remember wearing the sleeves, and everybody would have those in the basketball courts after school, they're rocking those or trying to do the AI moves and stuff. So
very white of me, but we would when we played soccer, he used to wear these finger sleeves as well. And so we had me and 2 other buddies, we bought the finger sleeves. So playing soccer, you can't use your damn hands.
You look cool though.
Yeah, we won't. Brennan, here's another, I constantly try to find an old pair of Allen Iverson shoes, the AIs. They were so sick. And I had buddies that would have them. I'm like, man, I wish we weren't poor. I would love those shoes as a kid in high school. I'm like, we're going to Payless Shoes. They don't have AIs at Payless Shoes.
Nice. That's a good one, Brandon.
Brandon's got, you guys got some good picks. Mine are, I'm looking at mine now. I'm like, oh shit. Not as mainstream.
Yeah. But, that
I'll say afterwards who my other NBA one was, but all right. So I got you said it's still mine, right?
Yeah, one more. Yeah.
I was gonna go NHL just to take one but I'm staying true to me. I'm who I want, who I like.
Your draft.
Yeah, it's your draft, dude.
This guy could be argued as one of the best wide receivers. I'm going Randy Moss.
Yep.
Never really had a shot. Always a stud. Always fun to watch. Always kind of, he was the prime of that kind of controversial wide receivers. Always talking, always doing something fun. So that was fun to watch. Never really had a shot until that patch year, and that patch year was electric with him and Tom just destroying the league. Ran into a team of destiny with the Giants, and still almost. I mean, there's that last play, that bomb down the sideline. He still almost had that.
The 60-yard throw that you're like, holy shit, I think he's going to catch it.
Yeah, off his fingertips. It was off his fingertips.
It was.
Just barely.
I mean,
literally lost. You talk about losing, never getting a Super Bowl. I mean, that was his chance right there. But, so, give me Randall Moss.
Nice.
Great choice.
That's a good one. All right, I'm going to go with a little strategy here. Since Eric already has a hockey guy, I'm going to go with NBA. I'm going to go with the personal favorite for NBA. A lot of people don't like him. I love him. Yep. I'm gonna go with Reggie Miller.
I was gonna pick him and just talk shit about him. The whole
I know
time.
you were. So I gotta take him. Look, Reggie Miller was my guy growing up. Obviously, everybody loved MJ, but the way Reggie just wasn't scared of MJ, he went in there, never won against him, but it was still fun to watch.
Tried his best.
Tried his best. Tried his damnedest. Yeah,
He talked shit.
Yeah, he talked shit. He talked shit, man. The whole Knicks series with doing the choke sign in front of Spike Lee, just classic. He kind of revolutionized the 3-point game before, obviously Ray Allen got in the league and all those guys got in the league. Now, obviously, those guys are way better than Reggie ever was looking back at it. But
that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're taking 33 points a game,
centers shoot 3-pointers now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Reggie was my guy growing up. I still love him. Probably lost a lot of followers as his commentater in his commentator days because he's not that great of a commentator. And
sometimes you just got to ride off into the sunset and not be so visible.
Yeah. And what's funny is he actually had a chance to win a ring because the Celtics were trying to get him that 08 season that they won. But he decided to stay with the Pacers. So
dummy.
Yeah. Dumb move. Hindsight, dumb move by him. But anyways. All right, Eric, you got your last 2 picks here.
So my NBA pick, I'm going with Charles Barkley.
Yep.
The guy couldn't win an NBA championship, also ran up against the MJ. It's like there's always I mean, it is like there's always one elite guy that's going to deny 10 dudes from getting their happiness. But for Charles Barkley is still relevant. Now, honestly, I would say he's more prominent now than Michael Jordan is, at least in just media wise, where it's like people, MJ, you don't really care what he says besides talking about his era. Like Charles Barkley, still so damn funny, still insightful, like so likable. Like he jumps on NHL broadcasts and he's still very endearing and like likable and lovable. Yep. So yeah, he never won, but he was great.
Yeah, the year he got the MVP was when that was his shot to win it.
Yeah.
Yep. Michael took him down.
Michael said no. Yeah. And I took that. Michael's like, and I took that personally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, him winning that MVP, that was Michael would have had a 3-peat for MVPs.
Yeah. Yep.
But, crazy.
And now you don't have a ring.
Yep.
And now you're on our draft.
And
now you're on my draft.
All right, Dick. Yeah, it's your NFL guy left.
The last one, NFL guy. Now, the NFL is way more cruel and quarterbacks kind of shoulder the blame, and so most of these other skill players don't get. It's not as big of like a scarlet letter for not winning a Super Bowl. But LaDainian Tomlinson never winning a Super Bowl is kind of crazy because of how damn dominant and awesome he was. He had that tinted visor. He was, I mean, he was like scoring almost minimum a touchdown a game for like 8 years. Like the guy was one of the best fantasy football players ever. He was super exciting. And he just looked cool as hell. He had the great Sports Center commercial where he was in the mailroom with his helmet with his tinted visor, and he's like putting mail away.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
He just keeps dropping it because it's all tinted, you can't see. But very, very awesome. Great player, fun to watch. Even same thing. He was with the freaking Chargers, and you still loved it. Loved watching his highlights.
Yep, that's a good one. Eric. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go. My last pick, I have NHL. I have a few that I'm debating between. I'm going to go with the name that Brandon probably doesn't know.
We'll see.
I'm going to go with Marcel Dionne.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's
Brandon, what team do you think Marcel Dionne played on? Sorry.
Ooh, this is a fun game.
Yeah, I like this game.
I have
This
no
will be
clue.
our new thing, a new segment. Brandon, what hockey player? He
I'm
played
going to get it wrong
70s,
all the time.
80s.
Yeah.
Boston Bruins.
No. Good guess.
I would go one of the old teams.
Yeah.
My next guess, Ottawa Senators.
No.
LA Kings.
LA Kings.
The
purple and gold.
Dude, I never would have guessed
Brandon,
that.
the purple and gold LA
the
Kings.
crown. The crown on the front.
Yeah.
I was thinking old teams.
Yeah, so just spit some stats at you about Marcel Dionne.
What year did he play?
He was like 70s, 80s. Like,
your prime.
Watch him. Yeah.
This one really meant a lot to you. I can tell.
Yeah, Brandon's just a hater.
His stats don't make sense, Anish.
They don't. He's
Educate
sixth
me.
overall. So he's sixth overall in total points scored in the NHL history. He had 6 50-plus goal seasons, and he had 7 seasons of 100-plus points or more. So 7 times he scored 100-plus points in a
Wow.
season. That's crazy.
What?
I mean, obviously that was back in the days where everybody was scoring
Goalies
points.
sucked.
Goalies
Goalies
sucked.
sucked.
But damn, man, he was a stat getter for sure.
Well, no, dude, he had 1,700 career points in 1,300 career games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
That's crazy.
And never won a championship on some terrible Kings teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that wraps up my draft. Brandon, here's your NHL pick, your last pick.
And, you know, it's funny. The 3 that I put down, they're still available.
Well, we went. Anish went old school,
You went old.
hockey, and I went, 90s NHL.
You
with
went
Matt
to spite
Sundin.
me.
Yeah,
That's what
Maybe.
you did, Eric.
Dude, I was trying to do Matt Sundin. I should have done Matt Sundin and Reggie Miller just to take them.
I know, dude. Because I was taking
Maybe.
Matt Sundin on the way back. If you were going to take it.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go. There's 2 that I honestly would like to pick, but I'm going to do one of the winningest goalies in history.
Bobby Lou.
Roberto Luongo.
Yeah. Yep.
Never won the big one. Came close. Lost a game 7 to the Bruins. But yeah, that's about all I know.
They
I
were
know
up
he's-
2-0.
I know he's a stud. I
Yeah,
mean, I
He was
know-
really good.
Yeah,
Hey,
he was like one that I knew.
So, Brandon, little asterisk. Technically,
He went to
has-
Florida.
Yeah, he has won a Stanley Cup. He's a part of the management of the Florida Panthers, and they won last year.
Yeah.
So
But
he,
as a player.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I know. It's a feel good. He had a Twitter account back in the early days of Twitter, and it was the Strombone.
Yeah.
And it was very funny, and
So
no one
damn funny.
knew it was him for
It's
the
him.
longest bit. Yeah, and it's very funny. And now he's very like self-deprecating. He like makes fun of himself, enjoys a lot of things. Seems like
Yeah.
a pretty good dude.
Yeah. He's almost gotten more. He was already likable as a player, like when he played, but he seems to have gotten more likable after
Mhm.
his playing days, which is
Yep.
sometimes hard to do. Nice. Good
A
draft.
la
boys.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went the opposite way.
He went the opposite
He went
way,
the
yeah.
opposite way.
Someone
Yeah,
I
it was
thought.
like, man, Reggie Miller's hard. He's tough. And then now you're like, man, he's a bitch. He sounds like a
Yeah.
sounds like a loser.
I thought y'all would go with NHL. I thought y'all would go like Joe Thornton.
Well, so I had Joe. Well, dude, I
That
had
was
Joe
my other one.
Thornton.
I was picking between
Jerome
those two.
McGinley.
I was gonna say
That was
Jerome
my other one.
McGinley, and then
Yeah.
I wanted to like my number. So I'm willing to pull like how we stand against Lamar Jackson. I stand firmly against Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
He
Can't do it.
was almost my pick for players that greatest players to never win a Stanley Cup or a championship, because McDavid, he is insanely awesome. The guy has zero personality. There's nothing likable about him at all, and yet he's like barely, he's hailed as he is like the best player in the league. But there's nothing interesting. He plays in Edmonton. Like it's like his games all start at 9:30 p.m. every night. Like you only see like some his highlights and stuff. And right now I don't like having hate in my heart, but I'm kind of rooting for him to never win a championship.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah, it
Just
makes sports
sports.
fun. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sports
Sports.
fun.
Yeah.
We're not gonna win one. Why should he?
Yeah, exactly. I'm miserable as shit. I don't want that guy. It's like that'd be kind of that's interesting if he's so awesome and dominant and he never wins. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
I had a couple other old school NHL players. I had Cam Neely and Pavel Bure.
Pavel Bure was awesome.
Yeah, Pavel Bure was awesome.
Yeah.
You know who he's married to? Brandon, do you know who Pavel Bure is married to?
Oh,
You want to take a guess?
I don't even know who he
Aniston.
is.
Jennifer Aniston.
No. He is married to.
You
Hold
don't even
on.
know. You're googling it right now.
I am Googling right now.
Do you know? Do you know who?
Wait, is that not who I thought it was?
Carrie Underwood.
No. I thought Pavel Bure was married to the
The-
oldest
yeah.
daughter from Full House.
Halle Berry.
No, his brother is. His
Oh, I thought
brother. The
Pavel
other Bure.
was.
No, the other Bure.
Oh, what's her name?
What?
I don't know.
Candace something.
Yeah.
Candace.
Valtteri
Bure.
Bure, I think, is what
Oh,
name
dude,
is.
I always thought she was married to Pavel Bure. Shit.
Shit. Clip it.
Candace Cameron
Yeah.
Bure.
Yeah.
Dang it! I always thought it was Pavel.
That's why you had me confused. I was like, what's he? Where's he going with this?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, Valerie Bure.
Yeah,
Damn,
Valerie Bure. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's
He
what it
did
is.
play in the NHL though.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good one.
Yeah, and then obviously
But that's your
NFL
role,
and
Brendan.
NBA
You love
a
Full
lot.
House. You love Full House. See,
Hey, I knew her.
hockey unites.
And now we're full circle.
Circle.
All right, getting out of the NHL, whatever
Yeah.
yard. I'm pulling us out. I'm spinning us out of that. I can't believe no one took Dan Marino.
Yeah, that was a good one. That
You
was
know
a
what's
good one,
funny? I never was a big Dan Marino guy.
I mean, it's kind of before us, really. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
a little too early for us.
and dude, the great tease. Imagine being a rookie and going to the Super Bowl and being like, okay, we're going to be doing this, and then never even getting close to it again.
I thought it was his second year. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yep.
Sue me.
What's better,
Sue me.
that or like?
Who's he married to? Who's he married
Who's he married to? Yeah.
He's in Ace Ventura.
Sue me.
What would you rather have, that or someone like Jim Kelly, who was also an honorable mention,
Ooh,
went to 4
yeah.
straight and just
Yeah.
never won?
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse.
Sports
Probably going
wise,
to
that's a
4
great
straight.
story.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'd be
But
fine with
you-
McDavid going to 4
earlier.
Stanley Cups and losing them all. Do it, Brandon. Sorry. Do it, Brandon.
You mentioned him earlier, and I thought it made me think about him, but I was thinking like Calvin Johnson.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
as far
a
as
good one.
like
Oh, I know.
football,
I had Calvin.
Yeah.
like I know he
Dude,
didn't play
Tony
long,
Gonzalez.
but
Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, he
Tony Gonzalez was awesome.
you know who his ex is?
Now I do, Brandon. Does Anish know?
His
No, I
ex,
don't.
Anish,
his ex is
Do you know who-
Jeff Bezos with the the Zuckerberg meme.
the lingerie,
that's his ex?
the lingerie at the inauguration.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
Tony
that's his
Gonzalez's.
Wow.
I don't think they're ever married, but I think they have a kid together.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
It's good for him. All right, God, I got to spin us again.
Oh man.
You know what? I didn't obviously never watched this guy play, but it was doing. I wrote down a couple for NBA, and I was like, I'm going to do some Googling. I want to see what some other ones. But Elgin Baylor, I never knew he didn't win.
Yeah,
And again, way before our time. But I did see this is like this is a sad note on his career. He had to medically retire because of his knees in like the middle of the season or something. But the Lakers ended up winning after he had to medically retire, and I think they gave him a ring, but I think
That's like a little bit of like you're like,
yeah.
what do you
I
do
think
with
he
that?
ended up I think I read he ended up auctioning it off at some point.
Did I say
Like,
that bit again? If they're like, Eric, you were the
Yeah.
accountant on this Predators team, like, give me that fucking ring.
I matter. Give me that.
Give me that.
Give me that.
Or
Also,
Patrick
just
Ewing.
playing.
Patrick Ewing.
yeah, Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
That's
Patrick
like kind of a
Ewing.
go-to.
Yeah. I'll
I mean,
take
that's
that.
Bill Simmons. That's Bill
Yeah.
Simmons' whole theory.
Yeah,
The
Ewing
Ewing
theory.
theory.
Well, Brendan, I always think of, I was going to say with Elgin Baylor is how I feel like Bill Simmons always talks about how much of a prick he is.
Mm.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure none of them were pleasant to be around.
Hey,
Back
dude,
then.
there were also players not making any money. You'd
Yeah.
be mean to.
Flying in
Coach.
commercial
Yeah.
airplanes with
Yeah.
smoking on the planes and stuff.
Working as cab drivers on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also had Eric Lindros from the NHL.
Eric Lindros.
He's
Yeah.
a freak.
Yeah. He was good too, man.
Yeah.
Brandon, concussions. He had a lot of
Yeah.
concussions.
Lot of
He was
concussions.
a giant monster of a man, and the guy, his head was soft as Play-Doh.
Yeah.
CTE.
Big time. I also had Jeff Bagwell.
Yeah.
Do you remember him from
Craig
the Houston
Biggio?
Astros?
Yeah,
Craig
Craig
Biggio.
Biggio.
Those guys were
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. That Astros should be fun.
I feel like that's like the Chris Farley. He's like, man, do you remember Jeff Bagwell? God, he was awesome. He was awesome.
I had Ted Williams too.
Yeah. Ted
I mean,
Williams.
He
literally.
never won. I guess he played for the Red
Yeah.
Sox, so that kind of does make sense. That tracks.
But I mean, literally, like one of the best hitters ever.
Dude, he served in a war.
His
That's
I
crazy.
think his on base percentage is still like the best ever. Like I don't think anybody's beating it.
And he fought in World War II.
Yeah, dude,
that's-
shooting down planes, coming
Yeah,
back,
shooting Nazis and hitting
it's
singles.
dingers.
Yeah.
Fingers.
It's just funny. Like, could you imagine any of the current athletes being like, "Hey, I'm taking a break to go fight in the war"?
None of them.
No. Never.
No.
Oh man. Good draft, boys. Good draft.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a fun one.
a
That ended up
lot
being
of losers
a
out
lot
there.
of losers. Yeah. A lot of losers.
Yeah, Eddie George on there too.
Dude, Bruce Matthews. That would be a good one.
Oh man, Hall of
Oh,
Fame.
dude, there were
Hall of
so many
Famer.
NFL ones
Yeah.
to pick
Yeah.
from. Or
Yeah, the
NBA.
NFL one, it's almost like unless you're a quarterback, that's a ding. It's like, hey, you never led him to the championship. But if you, it's like no one's like, oh, Randy Moss couldn't win. You're just like, no, dude, that guy ruled.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
His long stride, just like ball, like dropping perfect in his hands.
Beautiful.
But-
Do you remember the touchdown Randy Moss scored against Darrell Revis? That it was like his first or second year with the Patriots, and he it was the play that I think it started Darrell Revis's like injuries that like kind of derailed his career. But like he literally like went over Darrell Revis in the end zone, and Revis
looked like a
down.
gazelle.
Yeah,
Just like flying through the air.
Yeah, it's funny like what sticks with you.
Yep.
He's a stud. No ring.
Nice, boys.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. All right.
Hey.
I think that
Gotta have heart.
gotta have heart.
Could have put Shane Falco on that list. I don't know.
Yeah.
Couldn't win the Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl performance.
Oh man. All right, boys. I think that wraps up the episode. Anything else we want to touch on that we didn't touch on this non-agenda following episode?
I know. We're at like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Any more shows we want to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah. Any more conspiracy theories we want to get off our chest right now?
We've talked enough. This is the only show that needs to be talked about.
Yep. All right, boys.
I may go turn this on, Vernon.
Yeah, he's about to go binge Breaking Bad now.
See you guys in a month.
Yeah. Brandon's just on the next like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So it was a fun one. We'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Awesome.
See ya.